Title: After 17 years, I found out my kids aren't mine. My wife told her lover I was the perfect fool. I was shattered, so I planned my revenge. Start. I remember the sound of her laughter. Not the kind she gave me, the polite, tired chuckles at my jokes, but the one that poured out when she thought I wasn't listening. I heard it through a wall. Muffled, intimate, poisoned. She wasn't laughing with me, she was laughing at me. That was the night my world cracked. 17 years of marriage, 17 years of birthdays, scraped knees, late-night fevers, whispered promises in the dark. 17 years of raising children I thought were mine. And then her words slipped out like a dagger in the dark. He's the perfect fool. He'll never suspect a thing. Her lover laughed too, a low, victorious sound. The air left my lungs. My chest burned. I remember sitting on the stairs, paralyzed, as their voices bled through the phone call. My wife? My wife was confessing to a man I had never suspected. And then the truth, casually spoken like it meant nothing. He really thinks they're his kids. 17 years and he's still blind. My blood went cold. My vision tunneled. The world I had built crumbled in silence. We met in college. She was all fire and charm. I was steady, dependable. She told me she loved that about me, that I was safe, trustworthy, loyal. I wore that like armor, believing it was my strength. I didn't realize it made me her perfect cover. We married young, built a home. I worked 2 jobs at one point to give her comfort. She told me she adored me for it. When she placed our newborn in my arms, I thought my heart would tear open from the weight of love. But love, I've learned, can be the cruelest blindfold. It wasn't just that night. Looking back, the signs were scattered like broken glass, sharp and shining in hindsight. The late nights she dismissed as book club, the subtle way she flinched at my touch sometimes. The boys, God, the boys, they never quite looked like me. People joked about it, I laughed it off. I didn't want to see. After that night, I dug deeper, quietly, methodically. I checked phone records, bank statements, emails, lies stacked upon lies. And then I did the unthinkable, a DNA test. The results came in a sterile envelope. I remember staring at the paper, hands trembling. Neither child was mine. Not one strand of my blood ran through their veins. 17 years. A family built on sand. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I sat very still and let the truth carve itself into me. The man I was, naive, trusting, blind, died in that moment. What remained was something else, something patient, something cold. I knew what I had to do. Revenge wasn't rage, it was math. It required precision, discipline. First, evidence. I recorded her calls, photographed her meetings. Every message, every transfer of money, every lie cataloged in neat digital folders. Months of silence while I smiled at her over dinner, kissed her cheek, tucked the boys into bed. She thought I was still blind. Second, legal preparation. I hired a lawyer quietly, transferred assets into a separate account, researched custody laws, inheritance, the consequences of paternity fraud. Step by step, I built a case strong enough to crush her. Third, patience, the most difficult weapon. I wanted to expose her immediately, but I waited. I waited for the perfect stage, the perfect audience. A betrayal this deep deserved a spotlight. Our 17th wedding anniversary. I booked a lavish dinner, invited friends, family, colleagues, a celebration of love. She dressed beautifully, glowing with pride. To her, it was proof I was still her fool. Midway through the evening, I tapped my glass. The room hushed. I pulled out a projector. She looked confused, then nervous. I played the recordings. Her voice filled the room. He's the perfect fool. Gasps, whispers, faces turning toward her, toward me, toward the children sitting silently, pale with shock. I showed the DNA results. 2 sheets of paper on a giant screen, undeniable in black and white. Not the father. The room erupted. She collapsed into tears, reaching for me. I stepped back. My voice was calm, steady, carrying over the chaos. I built this family on love. She built it on lies. For 17 years, I raised children that weren't mine, while she mocked me to her lover. Tonight, the mask falls. She begged. The boys stared at me, trembling. I turned to them, not with anger, but with truth. You are not my blood. But I was the man who held you, fed you, loved you. That doesn't vanish. But the lies end tonight. Divorce followed swiftly. The evidence stripped her of sympathy in court. Financial ruin landed hard. She lost the house, the accounts, the comfort she thought permanent. Her lover abandoned her within weeks, unwilling to shoulder the weight of her collapse. As for me, I walked away clean. My lawyer ensured it. The children, older now, struggled with the truth. I didn't push them away, but I no longer carried the weight of a father's obligation. That bond was poisoned, stolen from me. If they reached for me, I'd meet them halfway. But I wouldn't bleed for someone else's betrayal again. Do I regret it? No. I regret the years I gave to someone who saw me as a fool. I regret the nights I spent blind, proud of my ignorance. But the revenge, the unveiling, that I do not regret. Sometimes justice is not a courtroom or a verdict. Sometimes it's the silence after the storm, when the liar stands exposed and the world finally sees them for what they are. She called me the perfect fool, but in the end, I was her perfect reckoning.